Finished, click on stop streaming. It will say you'll not be able to reconnect. That's fine. I'll press yes. And now you stopped your stream.
Ultra-conservatives, arch-conservatives who have begged for his support, whom he has backed, and they have in turn lost. And you know how much this president dislikes that. Compared to Winsome Earle-Sears in Virginia, when he didn't even say her name or endorse her, he has been, pretty powerful in stating that Jack Ciattarelli needs to win this race by name. He just did it a few hours ago in a Truth Social post. The only thing to do here is to elect Jack. Jack will be great. Jack knows a lot about energy. I mean, very effusive praise. And he did come out and endorse him. And that's even after Ciattarelli 10 years ago had come out against Trump. And that's usually not the kind of thing that Donald Trump forgives. But he did in this case. That gives you a sense of the stakes for Republicans here. But it is interesting with his trips to New Jersey, to his golf club, with his trips to another golf club in Virginia. He didn't set foot in either of those two states to campaign for the GOP candidates. And whether that played a role here or not, one of the two has now gone to the Democrats.
Always interesting to try to telegraph any connections that we can see between what may be happening on a decision-making basis at the top level and then thinking about how it affects the lives of not only the people who are going to be voting in these contests, but the political reporters like you and me who are going to be watching those midterms very closely. So with this first round of votes and first round of results, I guess that gives us whatever idea we can have at this point.
Plenty of fodder for a year. We can look at it that way.
Lots of things to think about for those midterm elections, which will be 364 days from today. We will return you now to the live images, those 4 boxes on your screen that you can see still continuing to come in from Mikey Sherrill's campaign rally in New Jersey. She is the Democratic candidate there. Also on the right-hand side of your screen, we see live images from New York, where we continue to follow that marquee contest for tonight, the mayoral race in New York City. We'll be back with you soon.
Oh shit. Give me a second. Oh. A socialist gonna win in America. That's wild. I mean, I don't know really what the timestamps are for this, but it's not looking good. I don't care what people say. And yes, there's a case here that Cuomo could have won if Sliwa Sugli joined Cuomo, but still. Writons and Eric Adams. Some people just like chaos. No, I got you. I understand. Excuse me. What does 6-7? I keep hearing the slang. What's that even mean? Stupid terminology. When you see shit like that, you're like, what the hell's going on in America? How can you be gay and trans and Palestine? Alabama, Brazil. We don't claim you. Tom Hellman. Took over television. Like, I don't care what people say. I think most politicians are bought and paid for. Okay, what's going on? Yeah, I mean, the chance that Cuomo's gonna win is basically slim. If Mamdani wins, I will have hope again. I guarantee you they don't know what socialism means. Tax the rich. $580 votes. I guess this is live. Wow. I mean, there's millions of people in New York. I mean, I kind of don't really care too much about politics. Mostly because I already know that the powerful people choose before we do. But, you know, still gotta put some interest to it. I do wonder though, what would happen if Kuma actually won? I'm not good at making predictions, to be fair. Huh. It's kind of insane the amount of people who love the idea of socialism but don't really understand what that means. I mean, is it the words? Is it we'll give you everything for free? Because you do know that when socialism is implemented, you will have no rights, right? You get that, right? Now let's call it something fancy. Democratic socialism. Get out of here. God, these spammers, holy shit. Like, we see the hearts, just make one or two and say what you gotta say. %. Ooh. Is there hope? We'll see. Wow. Slee was coming close. At 8%. What happened?
From the Associated Press, this is an Election Night 2025 update. Live from Washington, here is Meg Kennard.
This is a breaking alert that has just moved on the AP wire. The Associated Press has determined that Democrat Mikey Sherrill has been elected as governor of New Jersey. The four-term U.S. representative pledged to tackle rising consumer costs and blasted President Donald Trump for failing to reduce prices as he had promised during the 2024 campaign.
Oh my God.
Joining me to talk a little bit about Sherrill's campaign is Sagar Meghani. Sagar, just remind us kind of how we got to this point and wrap up, you know, how Mikey Sherrill's campaign really looked this year.
Yeah, like Abigail Smenberger in Virginia, Mikey Sherrill was elected to the House in 2018 in the election that allowed Democrats to retake House control. They both talked a lot about economics, like you just mentioned, but unlike Spanberger, who barely mentioned Donald Trump on the campaign trail, Cheryl focused on going after him. Like you said, energy costs, overall affordability. These were issues that she hammered in a state that has some of the highest tax rates in the country. And that, again, like in Virginia, is something that seemed to have appealed to people. This is now the third straight Democratic win in a gubernatorial election after Phil Murphy won back-to-back terms. Neither party, either Republican or Democrat, had pulled that off 3 straight times in more than 60 years.
Right,
So
wow.
another little bit of history there. Cheryl becomes the second female governor after Christy Todd Whitman leaned very
female
heavily
becomes
into her
governor.
background. She was an active duty Navy helicopter pilot. She was a federal prosecutor before she ran and served 4 terms. And now she gets to move to Trenton and become governor.
Got it. It's, so interesting to think about the biographies of these candidates and which ones sort of lean into them as they're campaigning and which ones maybe focus on something different. But that's definitely something that we saw Mikey Sherrill doing during her time on the campaign trail.
She is someone who had that military service in her background and really wanted
And
to play
I
up the
had some
national
too. It
security
doesn't give you
portion, as
shit.
did Abigail Spanberger again in Virginia. Cheryl's grandfather was a pilot in World War II.
cares?
And then she goes on to, again, serve in the Navy for more than 10 years, flying rather
Congratulations,
large
I was in the
helicopters.
Army.
So it seems to be a playbook that has worked so far
I
for
got you.
Democrats. 2 for 2 in the
Playbook.
only 2 governors' races so far this year.
Right. Thank you so much for that analysis of the Democratic side of things. And now to think about the Republican side of this contest, we are going to go back to Mike Sisak in New Jersey, who has been with Republican Jack Ciattarelli's campaign at their rally site this evening. Mike, give us a sense of what you're seeing and hearing from Republicans in this contest tonight.
Yeah, you're seeing on your screens Mikey Sherrill's headquarters, the Democrat that the AP has declared the winner in this race. Lots of jubilation there. Not so much at Jack Ciattarelli's headquarters. He's the Republican
Sorry,
who
my
now
hair
has
is
lost
messed
his
up here.
third bid to be governor of New Jersey. He lost in a primary 2 cycles ago, lost to Phil Murphy, the incumbent now, by 3 percentage points back in 2021, and has now lost to Mikey Sherrill in this race. We have not heard yet from Jack Ciattarelli. He is expected to speak at some point tonight at his headquarters here in Bridgewater, New Jersey. But already you have some glum faces in the crowd, people checking their phones, refreshing results, looking at the race call from the AP and other news organizations. And you have what was initially a festive mood turning quite dour. People still trying to make the most of it, conversing with friends, having some drinks, and waiting to hear from Jack Ciattarelli. Also, inevitably, the questions start to come out about what went wrong. We've seen on social media already people questioning the strategy of President Donald Trump not to campaign for Jack Ciattarelli in New Jersey, while others have pointed out that Ciattarelli has struck out twice before in his campaigns for governor, and that maybe this wasn't so much a referendum on President Donald Trump, but really a referendum on the candidates in this race. And as you mentioned, Mikey Sherrill is popular. She has been elected to Congress several times, and she flipped a Republican stronghold when she won that race in 2018. And as you mentioned as well, playing up her military background, and in this race, unlike in Virginia, really making Donald Trump a character in it, going on the attack, mentioning how he, in her words, drove up the cost of living, and also has made decisions that affect New Jersey residents and New Jersey commuters. In the last few weeks, she made a focal point of her campaign the president's decision to freeze funding for the tunnel repairs and renovations going on, the commuter tunnels that link New Jersey and Manhattan. That has been a project that has been going on for many, many years. Former Republican Governor Chris Christie at one point froze funding for that same project before former President Joe Biden kickstarted it. And now it is yet another political football or political chip that Mikey Sherrill seized on in these final weeks of the campaign. We expect to hear from Jack Ciattarelli at some point. We also expect to hear from Mikey Sherrill at her headquarters. But for now, the watching and waiting has turned into the what happened once again for Jack Ciattarelli.
Mike, thank you so much for that reporting on the ground there from Jack Ciattarelli's campaign headquarters tonight. We will continue to keep our eye on video coming in from that event, as well as Mikey Sherrill's headquarters.
Yeah,
If
the
either
drop is
candidate
pretty
comes out to
massive.
speak, we'll be
We're
bringing you
talking
those
about close to
comments live.
120,000,
On the right-hand side of your screen, you're
130,000.
continuing to see live images coming in from
quite
New York City,
substantial.
where we continue to monitor events for candidates in that race and continue to await an AP race call. If any of those circumstances change, we will be bringing you that information as soon as it comes into us. But for now, we will return you to these live images from New Jersey on your left and New York City on your right. Back with you soon.
Yeah, I don't know. So, the one thing that they kept mentioning is the flipping of the 2018 seat in New Jersey. And I'm like, almost exclusively when Democrats take strongholds of cities, they basically destroy it. I don't think there's a single case study that actually became better. I mean, this is including New York, right? California is another prime example. It's been talked about extensively by other people. I don't even have to talk about it. But, I mean, in the case of New Jersey, is New Jersey better than it was? I mean, technically, the Republicans are doing the same shit. Is everything better or is it worse? Right? Okay, what is this guy saying? Oh, okay, well, why do people keep saying democracy? This is not democracy.
This is all from the heart. Because I believe in all of you. And if you believe in us and you believe in our party, let not be tonight be the only night that we celebrate. Let tonight be the foundation of what we're about to build tomorrow. And we're going to stay on that course. We're going to build this party. We're going to be inclusive. We're going to listen to the voices that people have
Inclusive
out there.
of what?
We're going to listen to opinions. We are not
Gonna
going
listen to opinions.
dictate to you what we think you
Sure.
know. We're going to ask you what you need, what you need from us. That is how this Democratic Party is going to work. That is what got
yet you
Mike
guys don't do
elected
it.
tonight. That's what will set us free on a course to taking back what belongs to the people of this great nation.
Why did they talk about the
That is our
people?
House of
They don't serve the people.
And the United States government. But we're going to start right here in New Jersey. So this young man from East Orange, New Jersey, that probably shouldn't be on this stage based on what I look like, based on what my zip code is, based on where I'm from. Guess what? We are here.
Congrats. And I am
And
here.
that speaks volumes across this great.
So he did win.
So I am about to just say something simple to all of you.
Welcome to a new America.
I love you all. I love you all.
There should be probably a case study for the future.
For something that,
And it's going to be paid upon very close attention.
and if you have faith,
Mark my
you
words.
believe in a God,
It's going
no
to get
matter
very
what
bad
God
very quickly.
you worship, what God you pray to, just understand there is a higher being here, and we must embrace that and use that as we move forward.
What is
So,
that?
ladies and gentlemen, I am the proudest man on the face of the earth because my family sits here, my biological family, my East Orange family, my Essex County family. But what's important is my New Jersey family. This is Leroy Jones. I'm dropping the mic, signing off here. God bless you all.
So, what I was saying before is that by all stretch of imagination, socialism is going to go into full effect, right? you're going to see, first of all, mass exodus of people leaving New York. Either it is the people who have the money or the people who won't be able to handle the lifestyle that has now been imposed in New York. Of no fault of their own, obviously. But this is also going to be a situation where things will be so bad that they're going to have to change things. I mean, I actually possibly think that there might be a re-election because of how bad things are. I mean, am I wrong? Probably. But is it possible? It is possible, right? So let's just watch New York closely and see what's going to be the effect of that, right? I don't expect good things to happen from this. Like, there's no way no way in hell anything good is going to happen. I mean, if they want to tax the rich people will just go away. And they don't get that, right? Unless what they're trying to do is a full dictatorship, which is the only way to tax rich people. The rich people, they got ways on how to hide their assets. It's not going to work. The average poor person in New York is going to struggle even more because now they're going to be stuck, right? They have no idea what to do. Cannot be no jobs. I mean, at this point, why not just implement full communism in New York? Because you're going to have to control the means of production somehow, right? But yeah, I'm done with this. But basically, we're basically going through a tumultuous time where the people who think socialism means a utopia don't understand that utopia is going to take hard labor, right? And in hard labor, you don't have a choice. And if that was your dream, then go right ahead. But I guarantee you it's not what you want. But regardless of this, I am very curious if this had to happen for a reason. I'm very curious if we decided to try this 100-year-old, 200 million dead people ideology just to prove another point that it doesn't work. But hey, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong that system will work after 100 years of trying it over and over again. If you can prove me wrong with substantial positive effects, we can have another discussion. But I am open-minded. I judge not now, but later. So based on that note, ladies and gentlemen, y'all take care and have a wonderful night. Have a good one. Bye.